Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sawdust and Circuits. Today, I scored big at my local thrift store. 2 airbrushes for just $6.99 each. We've got a Iwata Eclipse HP-CS and a Posh H-3AS. Here's the Iwata Eclipse HP-CS. This one is dual action internal mix airbrush, meaning it gives you a finer control over the airflow and paint flow. Here we have the Paasche H-3AS. This is a single action external mix airbrush that's great for general purpose work. Think model painting, stenciling, and even cake decorating. This model has been around forever, is super reliable, and is known for its easy maintenance. The H series uses an interchangeable tip, and this one came with the 0.3 nozzle, which is great for medium coverage jobs. Let's break these down to see if they work, and maybe even design some 3D printed stands to keep them handy on the workbench. Stick around and don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, let's see what type of shape these are in. Time to take them apart and check for any clogs or excessive wear. Disassembly on the Iwata is relatively straightforward. It is a bit more intricate of a setup than the Posh uses. To disassemble the Iwata, first you remove the back cover and pull the needle out. Let's check the tip of this needle and look for any dings or dents. This airbrush overall looks in very good shape. Then I will remove this rear retention area. I have had one of these in the past, so I'm somewhat familiar about the disassembly and reassembly of this model, but it can be a little bit tricky. And you can really break these things down all the way and soak them in acetone or thinner if you need to really do a deep cleaning on them. Here's the button assembly. You can really see that the Iwata almost looks like a watch type assembly with highly detailed, fully finished parts. Most airbrushes are made out of brass and then they are plated with a chrome. So keep that in mind if you have to clean them up, to not be too aggressive with them. Does seem like there is a lot more tip parts on this Iwata. Kind of expected this piece to just pop off, but it did not fall off here. But you can see that there is no real excessive wear on this, and you can really tell the finish quality that Iwata uses on their products. Now, moving on to the Posh. This rear kind of trips me out because this whole airbrush is so front heavy, especially by the time you attach a bottle to it. It seems ergonomics were not really something they were going after with this. I really wish that the rear half of this was also metal. This uses a 2mm hex to disassemble. I grabbed this in the first time and I got it right. So I guess I'm getting pretty good at this. Now this process is a little tricky. You sort of have to spin the back half while holding the front fixed to pull or retract the needle assembly out of this. It's not a difficult disassembly, but I could see this being a little bit problematic for some people. And you can see this is the ink feed. Maybe somebody used some silver or gray on this. And then here's the little guide assembly. It's kind of neat the way that this feeds into the airhead, because really the airbrush on this alone just is an air valve. It doesn't really do anything else. And you can see the fit and finish on this Posh is not nearly as nice as the Iwata. You can see this portion of the airbrush is basically just an air gun. Now, since these look very clean, I'm just going to do a light wipe down and flush out with some acetone. Acetone? Acetone. I just have a little scrap microfiber cloth here just to kind of catch the runoff. Acetone is going to evaporate almost immediately anyway. The Posh had a 10-foot hose with it, and the Iwata had a 15 to 17-foot hose with a oil separator built into it. I do have an airbrush compressor, but I did not go and dig that out of the garage to test these. Maybe if I have an upcoming project, I will pull these out again and I'll give them a test and maybe add on to this video or do another video then. I hope this video helps if you have one of these airbrushes and you need to disassemble it and you were unsure of how to do so. I hope that this video will aid in that. If you're into crafts and hobbies, thrift stores can be an essential place to go to find products like this at an amazing price. I believe this Iwata Eclipse is close to $200. And the Posh, I believe, was around $80 for that model. But that Posh has been being made exactly the same since the 70s, so it's a very reliable spray unit. Let me know in the comments below what the coolest thing that you've found at a thrift store is. I went ahead and designed two 3D printed stands for these airbrushes. They are going to use this 1.4 inch diameter bottle, which is still commonly available on Amazon. For the Posh airbrush, the stand is a 90-degree pocket, and these stands are designed to interlock together as well as mount to a surface with two screws. And because of the interlocking nature, you could have an indefinite number of these mounted together in a nice even fashion. So here is the Posh, and then the Iwata. I had to do a 20-degree tilt to maintain the 90 degrees of the airbrush. Let me know if you guys are interested in these stands, and I can make them available. That's about it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.